Hi, my name is Hannah DeBraber. I'm 16 years old, and this is my story. In just recent months, I was diagnosed with BPD. It's called borderline personality disorder. When I was in 5th grade, I was 10 years old and I was diagnosed with ADHD. So ever since 5th grade, I've had these racing thoughts of wanting to end my life. Constant fear of abandonment, feeling like I'm almost worthless and like no one wants me, like feeling rejected from my family no matter, not even just my family, like everyone that's like around me in my life. I feel like I'm not living up to who they really want me to be. Most parents don't want to see that their kids are struggling. They don't want to hear that their baby that they love and have been raising has some condition where they want to end their life. On top of BPD, I struggle with ADHD, anorexia, bulimia, anxiety, depression, a little bit of OCD. So having those things at age 16, and it's really hard, especially because you're going through a lot of changes at this age already. My breaking point for me was definitely very life-changing. Summer of 2020, I finally hit rock bottom. I got into a really big fight with my parents, and my mom, me and my mom, like, we don't get along. At that point in time, we did not get along very well at all. She told me to leave the house. I felt very vulnerable and like I wasn't being heard. I definitely, at that point in time, was almost at my breaking point. It was the beginning of probably the worst summer I have ever experienced, the worst months of my life I've ever experienced. When I returned home, there was a cop car at my house, and he asked me if I was suicidal and I wanted to end my life. And I told him, no, I did not want to end my life then. And he goes, have you ever felt that way? And I told him, yes. They sent me to go to Helen DeVos to get admitted for suicide watch. It was really good because at that point in time, I was being like heard from someone finally, and my parents slowly were starting to recognize that this isn't normal. This isn't everyday kind of thing that every teenager should be going through. A couple months later, in September, I got into a really big argument with my parents. That night, I had told my mom that I wanted to kill myself and that I was going to do it in front of her. I went back in the house after yelling, screaming with her outside about how I was gonna end my life. I went to the basement and I ended up grabbing a bottle of alcohol and I started drinking. In my plan, I was going to get really drunk and there's a bridge by my house and I was going to go jump off of it. My mom ended up coming downstairs while I had the bottle in my hand. That was when she told me that she was going to be calling 911. I felt very invaded, and I genuinely at that point I didn't like care anymore. Like, I wasn't concerned about being in trouble. I wasn't concerned about being sent away. I was just so done with my life. The police showed up first at my house. It was a state trooper, and then it was, I think, 2 or 3 city police cars. Then the EMT came. It was very overwhelming, and I couldn't keep up with how I truly felt. So I was admitted to Pine Rest. People think that psychiatric hospitals are bad, and that's where crazy people go, and that's where like people that do drugs and alcohol and all this kind of like bad stuff that goes on there. But like in all reality, it's just kids and people who go there because they are really struggling in their life. Like they have genuine mental illnesses and they're reaching out for help. I am at a point in my life where I have never felt this happy. I have never felt this good about me in my life. That's not to dismiss the fact that, yeah, I still do struggle. I mean, I have BPD, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have everything under the sun. We're going to rise above it. That's what Pine Rest and other psychiatric hospitals, that's their goal, is usually to teach you, like you would at camp, you learn different skills there, teach you how to live a better life. It's very life-changing.